time of the Buddha, there was a millionaire called Todeya. He was a multi-millionaire. But he did not give anything to anybody. And his, philosophy, or his opinion was that if you give something, you lose that thing. So don't give anything to anybody if you want to keep the thing with you, if you want to keep the wealth with you. And so he did not give anything to anybody, and also he told other people not to give. So when he died, with great attachment to his own wealth, he was reborn as a dog at his house. And one day, Buddha went to the house. He had a son, and that son adopted that dog, and he was very fond of that dog, and so he gave the dog a good place to sleep and good food, as in this country. Dogs are very, very well treated in this country. So Buddha one day went to the house, and when he saw the Buddha, he barked at Buddha. So the Buddha looked at him and said, "Oh Todeya, you are not respectful to me when you are a human being. Now you are going to the greatest hell because you are barking at me." So when the Buddha told this, the dog knew, it's Karma, knows me. And so he was depressed. And instead of going to his bed, he went to a heap of ashes and slept on that. So his son came back from his business and saw this and asked the people what was the case. And when he was told, he was very upset. According to the teachings of their creed, he said, according to our religion, let us say, my father must have been reborn as a Brahma. But Gautama said, my father was reborn a dog. Gautama said, whatever comes to his mouth. So I will go to him and confront it with this and defeat him. So he went to the Buddha, asked the Buddha whether he said that the Brahmin Todeya was reborn as a dog. And Buddha said, yes. So how did you know that? And the Buddha said, now, is there anything that your father did not disclose before he died? And he said, yes. There were property, something in kind. 300,000, let us say dollars. They were not dollars. So $300,000 worth of property and 100,000 in cash. And that we could not find anywhere. That was missing. So Buddha told him to feed the dog good food. And after eating, when the dog was about to fall asleep, just ask him. He will tell you where he had hidden the treasure. So Todeya's son, his name was Suba. Suba thought, it's a good idea. So I'll do that. And if I do not get any treasure, then I can accuse Gautama of telling lies. And if the Gautama's words are true, I will get riches, I will get the wealth. So he went back and feed the dog, and when the dog was about to go to sleep, he asked. And the dog took him to the place where the treasure was hidden. And so he got the treasure. So Suba was convinced of the Buddha's omniscience, and he was amazed at the Buddha that even Buddha could see through the thing hidden by his rebirth, hidden by a different existence. So he went to the Buddha after some time and asked the Buddha questions. He said there were human beings in the world, and as human beings they should be equal. But there were those who live very short lives and those who live long. There were those who were always ill, and others who are always healthy. There are some people who has not taken any medicine at all in their life. There are other people who have to take medicine all the time. And there are people who are ugly and who are beautiful, And so there are some other people who have good friends around them, and those who have no friends at all, and those who are rich, who are poor, and who are rich, and those who are born in the low families and who are born in the high families, and also those who are weak in wisdom, and those who are strong in wisdom. And so, why are there people who live long and who live short and so on? Then the Buddha said, "Oh, Subha, beings have karma as their own. They are the heirs of their karma. The karma is their cause. Karma is their kinsman. Karma is their refuge. And the karma divides beings into lowly and excellent. Whatever karma beings do, whether good or bad, they will reap the results of karma." So, when Buddha gave this answer, Subha said, "Revered Gautama, I do not understand fully your answer, so please elaborate." And so Buddha said, those beings who kill other beings are reborn in hell, and when they are reborn as a human being, they live very short lives. And those who do not kill or who refrain from killing beings have a long life. And those who are cruel to other persons, other beings, who inflict injury to other persons, tend to be unhealthy in this life. And those who are kind to the people, who are kind to the beings, tend to be healthy. And those who are always angry, who get angry easily, tend to be ugly. And those who have metta, who have loving kindness, tend to be beautiful. It is obvious. Look at yourself when you are angry. You look ugly then. So anger makes you ugly even in this life. And so as a result of this anger, wherever you are reborn, you will be ugly, like that. And the opposite, the opposite of anger is loving kindness. So when you have loving kindness, you're smiling, your expression of the face is pleasing to other people, and so you'll be reborn as a beautiful person. And those who are jealous tend to be with very few friends, or tend to be with no friends at all. And those who are not jealous tend to have many friends. And those who do not give at all tend to be reborn as poor persons. And those who are generous are reborn as rich persons. And those who are proud, so proud that they could not give due respect to the elders, to the teachers, to the parents, and so on, will be reborn in the low families. And those who pay respect to the people, to due respect to the elders, and so on, will be reborn in higher families. Even nowadays, there is some kind of class distinction. Although we try to have no class distinctions at all, all men are equal under the law, but still there is some kind of status, low-born or high-born, and so on. And those who do not ask questions tend to be dull-witted, and those who ask questions tend to be strong in wisdom. So Buddha explained these things to Subha, and he was very pleased with the explanation given by the Buddha. So whatever we are in this life is the result of what we did in the past. According to this karma, we enjoy or we suffer. And so when good people suffer, we can infer that although they are good in this life, they might have done bad karma in the past. And they are now getting the results of that bad karma in this life. And when wicked people are prosperous or wicked people get good things, we can think in the same way. Although they are wicked in this life, although they do not deserve to have good things in this life, what they did in the past has given them this privilege. They might have done good things or kusala karma, wholesome deeds in the past, and they are reaping the result of it. So, this doctrine of karma explains the inequality in beings. not only in human beings, in all the beings. And it can give us consolation, hope. Although we are poor or we are ugly in this life, we can make our future lives better by acting better, by acquiring wholesome or good karma in this life. And when we accept the doctrine of karma, we also accept the doctrine of rebirth, because karma and rebirth are two sides of one thing. What do you call that? Two faces of one coin. Because sometimes we cannot explain if we do not have recourse to the doctrine of karma. There are people, some people of genius. For example, the Buddha. His profound wisdom and his infinite compassion and other good qualities could not have been produced and matured in one life only. It will need many lifetimes to get to this state of greatness. And there are people, even in these days, who knew 2, 3, 4 languages when they were young, and they were just babies, and who can perform very intricate music, and the geniuses like Edison, Einstein. So their greatness of wisdom cannot be explained just by saying, oh, this heredity, something like that. Because although heredity plays a part in their being geniuses, the greater part should go to the karma, what they did in the past. So we need many lifetimes to mature into the noble person. And so there must be a past life or past lives in which we can gain more and more perfection. And if we accept the present life, we must also accept the past life and also the future life. If we accept this day, then we accept yesterday, and we will accept also tomorrow. Because they are just the convention of the people that they are called yesterday, today, and tomorrow. They are just the component part of one series. In the same way, we have different thought moments through this life. And if we have different thought moments in this life, and if we acquire karma in this life, this series of thought moments will continue, and rebirth is just another moment after the death in this life. There is no time or no space intervening between this life and next life. Just another moment in the next life. It is like, say, the midnight of January the 31st. A minute after midnight, we call that time a new day, a new month, a new year. But it is actually one moment after midnight. But we call it a new day or new month or new year. It is the designation of the people. It is the convention of the people to call this a new day, a new month, a new year. Actually, it is just one moment after the other moment. So in the same way, when death comes, death is one moment, and immediately after death there is rebirth. So it is just one moment after death, that is rebirth. And we believe that there have been many rebirths, many births in the past, and we will have many births in the future, so long as we cannot eradicate the ignorance and craving completely from us. So long as we have these mental defilements with us, we will be reborn again and again. And we believe in this rebirth without a permanent, unchanging soul. Buddhism accepts the doctrine of karma and doctrine of rebirth without a permanent soul, without a thing, without enduring, everlasting entity. According to teachings of Buddhism, There is nothing we can call a permanent soul or everlasting entity. Everything is changing every moment. So you are not the same at two moments. But we have an explanation of this as the person, let us say the person who is reborn in the other birth, rebirth, is not the same person. Neither is he a totally different person. We have a formula in Pali, nacha so, nacha anyo. Neither he nor the other. So a person who is reborn in another life is not the same person as in this life. And that person reborn is not totally different from the person who died here. They have a connection as cause and effect. It is like if I ask you, are you the same person as you were, say, 20 years ago? The same person or a different person? Neither the same nor a different person. If you are the same, then you must be 20 years younger now. And if you're a totally different person, it cannot be. The personal traits and your way of thinking, all these things are carried to the present day. So you cannot say that you were the same person as you were 20 years ago, and you cannot say you are a totally different person. So in the same way, a person who is reborn in another world is not identical person, not this person, not the same as this person. And he is not totally different, totally new person, because he has the connection as cause effect with the past person. So in this way we explain the rebirth without a permanent, everlasting soul. And we have similes. When you make a seal, you stamp the seal. The impression that is on the paper is not the seal itself. You cannot say that the impression on the seal is the seal itself. But that impression cannot come about without the rubber seal. Neither the one nor the other. And then when you light a candle from another candle, the light you get is not the identical light of the first candle, nor it is totally new light. So in this way we explain the rebirth, the doctrine of rebirth, without the unchanging permanent soul. So in this way, one is reborn from one existence to another. And that means the different mental and physical phenomena, although they are changing at every moment, there is some sort of continuity running through this series of life. So we cannot say that I don't care what I get in the future life, because it is not I who will get the results of the karma I do here. We cannot say that, because we are not totally different, totally new, as well as not totally identical person. So in this way we explain the rebirth without the permanent soul. So the doctrine of karma and doctrine of rebirth depend upon each other, or they are supplementary. If you believe in the doctrine of karma, you believe in the doctrine of rebirth. If you don't believe in the doctrine of karma, you may not believe in rebirth. And Buddhists and also Hindus believe in this. So not everything can be explained with reference to karma, although many things can be explained through karma, because there are other forces than karma operating in the world, the seasonal or climatic forces, and then the order of consciousness. These also operate in the world. So karma, although we can not explain everything with reference to karma, many things can be. So whatever we get in the world, good or bad, is the result of the past karma. But our reactions to the situation is not the result of the karma. They are karma. When we respond to the situation, we are acquiring fresh karma. And so there's karma in effect. And Basically, there are two kinds of karma: good karma and bad karma, wholesome karma and unwholesome, kusala karma and akusala. Kusala karma brings good results, and akusala karma brings bad results. So if we do not want to have bad results, we avoid doing akusala, and if we want to have good results, we do kusala. That is the teaching of the Buddha in a nutshell. Not to do any evil, to do what is good,